Okay. Hi, it's Bandit. What's poppin'? I didn't use my Blue Yeti last video. I thought it was plugged in, but it wasn't, so my mic quality might not sound that good. So don't mind that. But this if you haven't read the title, this video is about my psycho friend. So last video, I talked about this kid. I'll leave a link. I'll leave a video. Check that video. It was good shit. Not really. It was all right. So this is about my crazy friend. I'm gonna give you a little summary about him because I didn't really explain too much about him last video. This is kind of gonna be the start of this. So this is about my fucking crazy fucking friend. He never fucking listened to anything. He had like no self control. He never had any. He wasn't aware of his actions ever, and he didn't feel bad for anything. And he was very violent, and he was weird. He was like a really weird kid. And before you like hop in the fucking comments, which nobody fucking will, but I mean, if somebody fucking does, and like, why the fuck did you still hang around with this kid? I didn't realize how bad it was until I got older. So yeah. So I'm chilling with idiot. That's what we're gonna call him, before I come up with an actual name for him, because I'm recording these videos back to back. So I'm hanging out with my psycho friend one day, right? I go to this kid's house. He's a little weird, right? He's like 12, 13. That's usually the age where you stop playing with toys and shit. Like, you kind of get out of it. So this kid, I go to a middle school, or at the time I went to a middle school, like a regular middle school. He couldn't go to a regular middle school, cause he was fucking different. So I'm chilling with this kid, cause I feel fucking bad. As I said last time, don't chill with people who you feel bad for, and who are fucking crazy. So when you're around this age, your hormones are starting to kick in. The whole fucking puberty thing fucking starts to happen. So it fucking sucks. Not really. It's fucking great for guys. But so we're upstairs, like in his house. He's just showing me some of his shit. I'm a little weirded out. Um he goes into his like fucking sister's room, and I'm like, okay. Cause like I said, hey, my phone's gonna die. Can I go in and Can I borrow your sister's charger? Can I go in her room and get her charger? Cause she wasn't there. And she was like, okay. He was like, okay, you can go do that, like pretty much. But he didn't say it that smart. Like, he used to be so fucking crazy that he couldn't do complete sentences. He would like scream and shit all the time. And he would like jump and bounce around like a fucking lunatic, like a literal lunatic. So he's like jumping around and shit. I go into his sister's room. He picks up his sister's dirty underwear, puts where her area would have been, and sniffs it. And he told me about how he wanted to do stuff with his sister. So I got really uncomfortable. So I was like, okay, let's go in the woods. Me and him got in a fight. Like, I walked into the woods. I'm like, I'm fucking going home. You're fucking crazy as shit. And his parents never said shit. So I'm like, okay, I'm going in the fucking woods. And he's like, no, 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 stay. So I'm like, oh fuck, my phone's gonna die. I have to stay. So he goes on his Xbox. He has really bad anger issues. So this motherfucker is on his Xbox. He's playing Fortnite. He's ass at it though. He's never gonna win before. I had to get him all of his victory gliders, and I don't even play on Xbox. I play on PC, PlayStation. So not too much different. The PC is, but not the PlayStation. So I get him like 3 wins. Then he gets really mad because he can't make it past top 25. So somebody kills him and tilted, and he starts screaming. He threw the controller at his TV and fucking shattered it. And his fucking parents were both sitting on the couch. I was sitting on the couch. He was sitting in a gaming chair. And he smashed his fucking TV, and they didn't say shit. And then he started fucking punching his mom. I was 11, so I didn't do shit. But his dad just kind of yelled at him, told him to calm down. Didn't he doesn't have a phone. He wasn't allowed to have a phone. So yeah. So I go in the woods. I'm like, I'm going home. I can't do this. You are fucking crazy, pretty much. So I go into the woods. This kid follows behind me with a machete and a hatchet. So if you don't know what a hatchet is, I'll pop a picture on screen. If you ever play Call of Duty, a hatchet's like a throwing axe pretty much, but you throw it at somebody. That's like supposed to be lethal. But so is an axe. So I'm in the woods. He's fucking. I see him behind me throwing a tomahawk at the tree, trying to get it in the tree. He walks up behind me. I'm ignoring him. So he fucking. This is like giving me major red flags. He fucking throws the tomahawk at me while I'm turned around and cut my shoulder open. I had to get stitches for this. I had to go to the hospital and get stitches and shit. So he's like, "Oh my god, I'm sorry," but he was laughing like psychotically before he said that. I was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And idiot was just kind of standing there laughing, and then he's like, "I'm sorry." He's like, "You can cut me," and then he handed me the machete. I'm like, "No, like an eye for an eye. That's stupid. Like, no, just don't cut people, okay?" I was like, "You shouldn't have a machete." So I told his parents about it. You can call me a snitch, but like, I didn't want this kid to actually fucking hurt somebody. Next Ted Bundy over here. So he hands me the machete and he's like, "You can cut me." I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Cut me." And I'm like, "No." So he takes the fucking machete, rusty ass machete, and slices his own arm with it. And he starts smiling and laughing. And he's like, "Now we're even." So I'm like, okay. And this kid, like, I think he had like psychosis and bipolar disorder, which aren't a problem. But if you have it, you should get some help for it. So I fucking stay away from him. He used to knock on my door every day, like on my host door. I wouldn't come for like 6 months. And then one day, I was in my room playing video games. I went to piss, and I came back, and this kid climbed through my window, like cut the screen open with a knife, and came in my room and was hiding in the closet waiting for me to come. So I come in and he comes in and grabs me and I fucking throw him out my window. I'm like, "Stay the fuck away from me or I'm gonna press charges, you crazy little fuck." So yeah. So I was low on money and this I was like in grade 7, grade 6. So my anxiety was really bad at this point, like my social anxiety. I have really bad anxiety. I was smoking a lot at the time. Don't smoke that young, but like, yeah. So I was shoveling driveways, right? And I had really bad social anxiety. And this kid who used to follow me around when I'd shovel and stand at the edge of people's driveways. So I was like, "Hey, I will give you $1 every if you go knock on the door and ask," which was stupid because who's gonna answer that psychotic fuck? But yeah. So I used to shovel driveways, get $20, and I'd give him $1 of it. And I was like, "Oh," and after the winter, I could mow lawns myself because my anxiety, I got over it after the first storm. I could just do it myself after that. So, yeah. And then I was chilling with my other friend who lived on the street. I'm going to call him Steve. So, me and Steve were chilling in my yard one day. And then this other kid, I'm going to call him Brett. So, Brett and fucking whatever the other kid I gave name was, idiot pulls up. And he's friends with the other guy. Fucking I forget what name I gave him too. Sorry, I have really bad short-term memory loss. Brett was his name. So Brett was really good friends with him. So I was like, okay. So Brett and the other kid, an idiot, were all there. So we were like grappling. Grappling's just wrestling. First one to get the other person to the ground. So we were all there, and idiot drops this other kid on his head so hard, like the other kid, not Brett, but the kid I forgot the name that I gave him. So I'm gonna call him Jack Septiceye from now on. Jack Septiceye. So he grabs Jacksepticeye, slams him on the ground, and knocks him unconscious. So he's like, "Okay, let's look at Jackie's penis while he's unconscious." And I'm like, "No, his name is Jackie now, not Jacksepticeye." So he says, "Let's look at Jackie's penis." So I'm like, "No, that's crazy, dude." And then Brett starts flipping his shit, and he's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you, dude?" So he's like unconscious, and we don't want to go get anybody. So there's a brook close behind my house too. So I get like a little wheelbarrow thing. I fill it up with water. I make sure he's turned upside down, and I pour it on his head, and it wakes him up. I was like, dude, were you joking or were you dead ass unconscious? Because Brett got on the ground and started punching him and shit in the stomach to see if he was unconscious. And then Idiot said that thing about his dick. So, yeah, I made fucking Idiot leave. Fucking Jackie slammed Idiot actually on his head. And then Idiot went home crying and said he was going to kill us. There's more to this story, so I'm going to make a part 2 because I don't want to edit all this. So, peace. Thanks for watching. Check out my last video about how he pushed me on the ice and I fell through. And I'll tell you what happened there. So, peace. It's Bandit.